Hello, hello there. Welcome to this channel. Yup. I kind of want to turn these all up right, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to turn these all up right. But I do want to turn these all up right. It's been a minute. It ain't been a minute since live over here, but I felt like coming live. And I've already been live on my other channel today. And I was like, well, I can grab some other cards and come live over here. It looks like most. Oh no. Okay. I was gonna say it looks like most. I can't speak. KC, it's been a minute. What's up? How you doing? Oh snap! The door to value just came out as soon as I said, "Hey, KC." Oof! If you can see it, the door to value. What's coming out of this door? Crystals. Dollar bills. Oh snap! I don't know if y'all can see that, but it looked like a Benjamin. Y'all see that? That Benny down there? Let's see. Oh, well, the more I zoom in, the less clear it is. A whole Benny came out the door. I'm good. I've been a little tired, but things are moving. Things are interesting. I feel like I got a lot of energy in a few places. Hey, Clorinda. Mr. Chairman. Hello. But yeah, I'm good. How are you? How have you been? But yeah, things are beginning to move a little bit. So I'm enjoying that a lot, actually. I'm just trying not to procrastinate on anything. And it seems like the less I procrastinate, the more quickly things move. So I actually wanted to finish updating my LinkedIn profile today so that tomorrow I can reach out to some people. Um, and it's interesting because I know I've been doing some things, but I felt like I haven't done much. Like I feel like I've been slacking in some areas, but I talked to somebody today and he was like, well, it sounds like, you're on the right track. You're doing this and you're doing that. And all of the stuff he said I'm doing, I'm actually doing. So he wasn't lying. But is this Giwa? Oh, snap. It's Giwa. And I talked to Giwa today. I love Giwa. She's amazing. I think her name is pronounced Giwa. Giwa. I can't pronounce her name right. She's Lebanese and amazing. Working a lot. That is an amazing thing in today's economy. But you're in the healthcare field somewhere, right? Healthcare or pharmaceuticals or something like that. So glad to hear it seems that your livelihood hasn't been affected. Oh yeah. So wait, what happened with the two that you just got? You do? Okay, nice. Well, best of luck with everything that you're doing right now, because the better y'all work in that field, the better we can all work later on, right? Oh wait, no, I don't have reversals in this deck. I shouldn't have reversals. Hey, there's the Fool. To new beginnings, if y'all can see that. There we go. I'm using. Oh wow, the Fool and the Pillar. The Pillar is the Empress in this deck. So when I said yes, one moment. All right, I'm back, y'all. That was some mommy stuff. Y'all probably saw me back there. What y'all over here talking about? You'll take care of us? Okay, thank you, Casey. We'll be looking out. Wait, what? She's doing well. She's switching our phone service and talking to me like I'm a professional. I'm like, why don't you just call the people? Why don't you talk to somebody who actually knows instead of guessing and conjecturing and all this other stuff? But she's well. Thank you for asking. This is huge, though. We got the pillar and the fool at the cut. We're gonna do something today. I don't know what I'm doing over here. I'm just pulling cards. So we have the fool and we have the pillar, and I want to get three of these for each, and then we'll see what's going on. Because this is interesting. Well, maybe not for each. I guess I could just get three for both of them. Because this is the energy of prosperous new beginnings, but it's like one of those choose your own adventure type things. But this is a beginning that we're creating. It's like we've been given the tools to give birth to whatever this new thing is. But we gotta actually, go into the delivery room, maybe have a C-section. Who was that? Miss Visage. She was like, all my kids came out through a C-section. Because she was like, I love these kids as much as I love my kids. 1 second. That's probably my mother. No. Jared. Hold on, wait. This is so tragic. I can't even go out and get a drink with my friend. Well, thanks for saying hi, Casey. Good night. It's been a minute. I really enjoyed that. And all the best. I'm glad that you're doing well. Keep up the good work. That's my friend. That's my little tourist buddy. Um he's one of the reasons, quite literally, while I'm still alive today. And so we were supposed to get a drink and hang out before I left campus, but that never happened. And then COVID-19 happened, and now he's moving to Colorado. So I was like, wow. But I met him almost 5 years ago. It'll be 5 years ago at the end of this month that I met him. Um, Love and light to you as well, and continued prosperity. But yeah, I that's who that was. And he's gonna be moving. He's like, I'm wrapping things up here next week. And I was gonna be like, oh well, before you leave, like I'll stop by, I'll visit so we can like catch up. But can't necessarily do that these days. Um, so but we'll have plenty of time later. And it gives me a reason to go to Colorado. Right? Even though I just heard some stuff. Ooh, yin and yang, and the man holding a heart at the cut. Okay. Let's see if these focus. Yin and yang, and the man holding a heart. All right, all right. Not this man for me, but maybe for someone. Zimmerman. Who is Zimmerman? Your street name is Colorado. Oh wow. Yep. He going to Colorado. And it's been such a journey with that man. Such a journey. I'm like, ooh, such such a journey. But I'm really happy for him. It's like I feel like there were a lot of things that he would never really talk to me about, but I could tell sometimes that he would go through some rough stuff, and he would tell me. So anyway, auto click. Huh? Colorado Zimmerman. Bottom of the deck is indecision in reverse. I like that. I've been seeing the indecision card a lot lately within these past few days. I'm like even thinner. Indecision. I don't know if any of these cards are going to show up, but let's actually read this. Let's read indecision in reverse. That's number 8, I'm pretty sure. I'm curious. I'll have to reply to him later. That's fine. My mom is probably going to be going live tonight, so when she goes live, I'm going to be shutting this down. How are you doing tonight, Clorinda? Did I ask you that? If I didn't ask you how you're doing tonight, I apologize. But let's see. Let's see, shall we? I didn't necessarily expect to get in. I don't necessarily expect to get anything too juicy over here, but if it happens, then I guess it happens. So, indecision reversed. Congratulations! This card reversed indicates a newfound freedom from indecision. You have either recently made or are just about to make an important decision. This is an important time, so bring a clarity of consciousness to your new direction. The fragmented and confused energy that you've been sending out is gone, and now you can bring new structure to your plans and your life. Oh my gosh, I feel that. You may not have known what to do in the past, but your soul has been trying to guide you all along. Open up to the potential of this time and create some clear and powerful intentions regarding your new choice. Then let yourself move forward with purpose and personal power. The affirmation here is I release fear and move forward with courage and trust. I have the power to direct my own destiny now and always. Girl, and as you move, now this card is on its side. I don't know I think it was in reverse, but it's on its side now. So we'll look at it on its side. I have 4 cards down here and 2 up here. This is kind of sort of crossing this in a way. So we'll do that. And then we'll do that. Past, present, future with the cross. Yeah, it's like the less I procrastinate, the more stuff moves. Crazy how that works, right? Which Colorado am I coming to first? Well, seeing as how most of the world doesn't want Americans right now because for very understandable reasons, probably the California in the US. Cuz people like, "Ew, you're from America?" Girl, y'all number is too high. Like, no thank you. I'm like, that's understandable. But I wear my mask. Like, I'm not gonna show it. I keep it in the bag for some reason, just so I know where it is, I guess. Bit of an upset tummy, but good. Oh, snap. What? How has he lost his voice? Is he still trying to talk? Little C. He's cool. He's a cool dude. This is exciting. Actually, so this is the energy again that we're working with. The Fool and the Empress. The Fool and the Pillar. And then we got indecision in reverse. It's a brand new time. All of that energy that we've been, it's like all of that excess steam that we've been losing because of running patterns and mindsets and mind frames and all this background noise that doesn't get us any closer to where we actually want to be. It's like once we shut all those down, excuse me, girl, Somebody gonna have to get their throat chakra together because I'm not gonna be doing this raspy voice thing. And I was fine before I came on here. Let me stop. um, what was I saying? Once you get rid of all the distractions, it's gonna be full steam ahead. So I'm kind of digging this. We have the solar plexus chakra, Archangel Chamuel. I don't know how to say it. The third one, which is interesting. I'm gonna get my phone for that one. He's number 40 something, 37. Who this? Oh, that's my mama. Let's go to 37 and see what's up. There's 30. We close. We're there. How's he doing? Little man C. Ah, Clorinda. Ah. And I hope your tummy feels better as well. Yeah, you have the perfect. And it's like you have to save your voice, dear. You gotta save your voice. You gotta save your voice. Shh, no, no, no. You're gonna mess up the healing process. Just you know. Maybe my raspy throat is all of the things that little man C can't say right now. So third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. This is emotions of desire and life force energy. The powerful Archangel Chamuel, I don't know how to pronounce his name, is holding a beautiful sphere of golden light at the solar plexus, which is the location of your third chakra and the center of your life force energy. The issues here revolve around emotions of desire and your personal energy. When the card appears upright, it indicates that an increased enthusiasm is present or soon to be on its way. This is a great time to move toward the completion of your desires. Your life force is vibrating with power and resonance, and your soul is calling you to direct your energy in a focused, purposeful manner. This angel of power is with you now, so go for it. The affirmation here is my third chakra is open to its perfect, healthy state. I radiate a bright and vibrant life force energy, and I feel excitement for all that I do. Now, this is interesting because it mentions the soul, it mentions purpose, and mention all that stuff. And this is kind of sort of the past energy. So, in the past, this energy is upright. We're currently sitting with indecision in reverse, which is like, your soul's been putting you on this path this whole time to get you to find it. It's very like a Clue. I've never played Clue, but it sounds like it's like Clue. Again, I've never played Clue, so I don't know if it's like Clue or not. But if you know what Clue is, it's like Clue. It's like your soul has been putting you through a game of Clue in order to get you to it and to acquire some things along the way as well that you'll need after you find it, right? It's like you're given this bag and you get they set the board up and you go from space to space. I think it's a board game. And you put all these things in your bag and it's like once you get to your soul, then your soul is like, okay, now put it together because we need to go somewhere. Is it like I feel like it's like some game show that I should know. Like I don't watch Amazing Race or Survivor. I know it's not like Survivor, but I don't watch The Amazing Race. But it's like you pick up something from all of these different stations and you pick up all these clues. And once you get to the end, you put all the clues together or something. You put the stuff together and then it does something to carry you forward to the next step. If that makes any sense. Again, I haven't seen either show or played Clue. So I don't know. You feel that all these clues and lessons along the way. Exactly. Yeah, I didn't think it would work, but it's worth a shot, right? But you gotta love him. You gotta love him. He's adorable. Let's drink a little bit more water. Let's see what this is about. This is fun. This is interesting. This is so much lighter than I thought it would be. When I come over here, sometimes I don't know what's going on. But when I go to my other channel, also, I don't know what's going on over there. So, but now that I have them sort of delineated a little bit, it should be a little bit easier to like do this, right? To separate them into Sort, potentially. In the present, since this card decided to turn on its side, if you've been watching me, you probably know what this card is. Every time I pull out the energy oracles, and like 9 times out of 10, when I see someone else on here use the energy oracles, this card has been coming out literally every single time I pick up these cards. And that's what's crossing the card on the bottom. So the card on the bottom is Deceit in Reverse. Excuse me? Hello? What's happening? Okay, so the folks who watch me over here, like, y'all must be like on it or something. I'm loving this energy. Honestly, I'm loving it. So let's read Deceit in Reverse. Deceit is number 25 or 23. It's number 25, and it's in reverse. I told you, the fool with this empress, the fool with this pillar, it's like we've gone through enough transformation that the energy that we can support is like brand new. And since we're supporting brand new energy, we're getting brand new things from this brand new space where everything is like lighter and it vibes higher. And it's just more like I'm just feeling elated right now, right? Like not necessarily cloud 9, but definitely cloud like 11. Anyway, I keep misplacing my phone. I'm loving this. Let's see. I'm like, ooh, okay, all right. All right. What did I say this was? 25. Number 25, Deceit. This is hidden tactics and manipulation. In reversed, receiving this card reversed puts you on notice that the deceit of the past is over or about to end. Perhaps some enmity at work is being dissolved, or maybe a more open communication has developed in your personal life. Whew, I gotta breathe. I can't breathe today. What's up with that? Or I'm just like, I'll say it after this. Be assured that the negative and dishonest energy is on its way out, and take advantage of of a new, peaceful, and open environment, one where you will be able to forge more success and greater comfort. On a deeper level, this card reversed is telling you that the period of self deceit is over. You are now ready to see the abiding truth of your own value, power, and deserving. It may take continued effort, but your honesty with yourself regarding these truths will bring even greater value into your life. The affirmation here is I am honest with myself and others, and I attract great honesty, integrity, and support from the universe. I am such a huge fan of this energy right now. Like, what? Like, what? And also, we are coming upon the Mayan New Year. It's going to be in like roughly approximately 10 days. It's on the 26th when Sirius lines up with the Pyramid of Giza or whatever, wherever, right? Not whatever or wherever. I'm sorry. I don't want to put disrespectful energy on that like that. But that's one of the things that happens on the 26th. Sirius, it's like Sirius, maybe the sun, and something else lines up with all the pyramids of Giza in Egypt. I'm not a professional. I don't know. You could see it in me. Well, thank you. I'm just tapping into the energies, that are already here. I'm glad I looked at the cut. I was like, the fool, the pillar. What's this about? Um, and the card that's crossing this deceit in reverse is, unsurprisingly, can y'all see that? It's the Temple Path. The Temple Path card keeps coming out. The Temple, every time I pull these cards out, the Temple Path pops up. The Temple Path, the Temple Path. Hey, Zelda. Everyone's working. I love it. How you doing? Besides, working. Hopefully you're having a good shift. This Temple Path is, I'm going to actually read both the upright and the reverse meanings for the Temple Path, because it was initially in reverse, but then it turned on its side. So I'm gonna read the reversed one first, and then maybe it's gonna come upright. But again, my initial reaction to what's going on so far is that like both of these indecision and deceit in reverse talked about how these energies may have been more prevalent in the past. The solar plexus is talking about us having purpose, with our actions and with what we put out, the light that we shine being more radiant. And so it's like with this temple path, again, it's like all things have a part, all things are necessary. Everything you've been picking up and acquiring and working through and healing and dropping off as you go along. And something about this is feeling like it's that trailblazer energy. It's like there's something that you come in and do, something that you come in and heal, and then along your path, there are certain things that you drop. But as you drop them, somehow or for some reason, it leaves it for someone else to pick up and either learn, or learn from. So I had a dream, the dream that I had in December or November. Speaking of the Amazing Race and game shows and stuff like that. Um, I'm gonna finish this first. Well, let's see. I had the Mystic Mondays here somewhere. Accidentally, I was looking for my other deck. Now, I would say take this as it resonates. Oops. Well, what card was this? The Moon in reverse, but that was on the top of the deck. Okay, well, it keeps falling out. I accidentally pulled this deck out. I was like, I don't necessarily. Yeah, I would take this with a grain of salt. Honestly, I don't always resonate with this deck too much, but I've been able to find a use for it on this channel. And so when I use it over here, I actually like it. So we'll see what comes out for you. Let's see, I'll give this 2 shuffles, and then I'll just pull one. For Zurda. Ooh, 8 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands out the cut. Here's that cut. No. No. Yes. Yes. Ooh, is that the King of Pentacles? This is the Daddy of Pentacles. I call it the Daddy of Pentacles because, I mean, look at him. But also, like, the Moon card came out in reverse. And that pentacle is in the shape of a moon behind him. And so I would say that you may be coming upon a certain stability or groundedness in a way that you may not expect. It almost feels like someone is preparing or getting something ready under the cover of night to surprise you with it. Potentially. Yeah, it's like someone's getting nice and proper. Also, this could be you coming into this energy, or it could be you working towards this energy, but not quite seeing. It's like how sometimes we do things and we don't necessarily fully understand why we do them, but then later on, it's like someone needs us to do something, and it's like, oh my gosh, I like learned how to do that like a few weeks ago because I don't know, I was bored and it popped up. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. So I mean, I'm not necessarily a love reader, but with somebody preparing something under the cover of the night, and then with the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, I mean, like, you know, somebody might be coming in with something. But the Knight of Cups does give it like an apology energy. And when you run into this energy, the King of Pentacles energy, it's like you run the risk of someone thinking, "Oh, well, I bought you this, I bought you that, like I'm doing all this." So like they get entitled, right? They think that you owe them something just because they made the decision to go out and try to impress you or something like that. I don't know. There it's like it is exciting, this feeling like, "Oh my gosh," but at the same time it's like be wary of someone who thinks that they own you because they done got a little coin. I don't know. Or that could also be about like self-love, right? Maybe just like, I don't know if you drink wine, but I don't know, maybe one day after work you just grab a bottle of wine. Okay. Huh. The Princess of Cups is behind this Knight of Cups as well. So treat yourself or prepare for somebody to try to buy you. I don't know. And that energy can also be very, very, very stubborn. So that could play out in any number of ways. Also, my eye just went to his watch for some reason. It's like he's not even wearing a tie. He's not even wearing a tie. But that watch right there, something about timing with the moon energy and this watch. But honestly, another thing is like, this is a lot. But another thing is like, it almost feels like a too little too late type of energy at the same time. You can see that you're too rigid sometimes, but not on purpose. Right. There's something in here that's like, it's too little too late, but also right on time. I feel like there's something that you're prepared for now, or you're in a favorable enough situation somehow that coming to this simple path energy, right? Whatever would come in and try to draw you off of whatever your path is, if it doesn't truly align with you, I feel like you'd be in that space to reject it, right? Because if this King of Pentacles energy is you and someone else comes at you with a pinnacle, then it's like if all you're offering me is a pinnacle, then I have enough. Thank you. Like next. And it's also interesting because we get the King of Pentacles right here, or the daddy, the zaddy of Pentacles. But then we get the Knight of Cups. And so I don't know. Girl, oh! The King of Pentacles is bent. He's bent. What card just fell on the floor? Ooh, the Hermit. Are you a Virgo? The King of Pentacles and the Hermit. He a little bit now. Sorry. But I was gonna say that the with the Knight of Cups being on the bottom of the deck, there's a mismatch in maturity. It's like physically someone looks very like well to do and put together, but emotionally and maybe semi mentally, they're still a little underdeveloped, or there's still a little bit more that needs to be done. But it's like they're hoping that whatever this pinnacle does will compensate for whatever is lacking in the emotional. So just be careful if this is somebody else. But if it's you, then I would say you may be coming upon an opportunity here pretty soon that you're going to be like more than qualified for. But it may come in a way that you don't expect, or you may not necessarily feel up to the task. But if you take the opportunity, you would find out that you are. So that could be any number of things. So take whichever one resonates for you, Zelda. And that's what I got. It does kind of sort of feel like a little bit of a too little too late type of energy. But also, I mean, that energy can come in any aspect, right? It doesn't only have to be like a person, it could be a job, it could be a family member. Um, It could be like if you've done a lot of healing and if you've done a lot of growth, it could be something from your old world, something from your old life trying to come forward and tempt you back into it with that Knight of Cups. But if you're sitting at that King of Pentacles energy and a Knight of Cups is coming, then there's that mismatch. It's almost like you would be stepping down a little bit if you took this opportunity. So I would say tap into your innermost knowing of who you are. And then the Hermit card came out, which is perfect. Tap into your innermost knowing of who you are and your worth and your value. And whatever opportunities you have coming up, whatever offers come your way, make sure you like weigh it, measure it against what you feel for yourself on the inside. Sereno, what's up? How are you doing? I actually, Serena, last time I remember you were talking about a deck that would look different and like the light and the dark and all kinds of stuff. And then this deck actually came in the mail. It's like a holographic deck, but depending on, ooh, I kind of sort of like it from that angle actually. Depending on where you hold it, you can kind of sort of see different things in the cards, depending on the light that it catches. And as soon as I opened up this deck, I was like, wow, Serena was like just talking about something like this the other day. But yeah, that's what I got for you, Zelda. All the best. And it's time for us to not necessarily keep going after things that don't measure up anymore. Um, but the Temple Path going from in reverse to upright. This is so interesting. I keep getting this Temple Path card. It's almost like a lot of us, it's almost like because we're kind of sort of shifting. And it's so funny because literally earlier today, my dad, he watches the news a lot. He isn't necessarily the type of person to get consumed by it and to fall into like all of the fear and all the other stuff like that. But he watches the news a lot, it seems. He's either watching the news or he's out there playing music. But today, they were talking about something on the news. And then he was like, the world has shifted and it's never going back. Like, and I was like, yep. I mean, like, I talk about it all the time, but I was like, yep. And he just kept saying it, like, everything has shifted, everything has changed, and it's never going back. And that's what I'm feeling the energy of this temple path. It's like with the temple path, there are many, 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 many roads that are all meeting at the foot of the mountain that leads to the temple. And it may not necessarily always be the case that we know exactly which road leads to the temple and which roads lead away from it. Only one road leads to the temple, figuratively. And so it's like if you come in from the east and you see like these five paths, if you're not looking around, like if you don't look up the mountain and be like, oh my gosh, there's the temple right there. But if you're just like looking at the ground and you see these four other paths leading out, you may not necessarily know which one leads to the temple. But it's like they all lead up to the temple, but you can still divert if you wanted to. And that's why it's important for this sort of indecision to remain in reverse. And I kind of sort of touched on it yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday because yesterday was Wednesday and I did the release. It was like we were sitting at this Ten of Swords and the lunar eclipse, full moon Capricorn, put us at that Ten of Swords energy. But when the Ten of Swords came back out, it's like with the 10, you're kind of sort of in between cycles. You're not fully into the next one and you're not fully out of the last one. So it's like you have one foot on both sides. And so as we're crossing into this new paradigm, as we're crossing into this new reality, into this new world, there could be some attachments that we're leaving behind that's like trying to pull us back. And it's like if we take another step forward, we have both feet over the threshold. And we're kind of sort of Gucci a little bit, kind of sort of. Right. It's always better to put more distance in between you and whatever's on the other side of the door, but it's kind of sort of that energy. So I love it. I can't remember why I brought that up. I was going somewhere, but it was also with this temple path, um, right? And so everything that we've needed to acquire, it's like this energy. And I love how they said, like, with both indecision and deceit, it's like this is in the past or it's on its way out. If this energy is on its way out, let it stay gone. Like, don't go running back for things that we know we should be leaving behind. But we all have our own journeys. So maybe it's your path in this lifetime. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, wow, I'm already here. The affirmation for the temple path is: I open my heart to my spiritual truth and a deeper connection with spirit. Guidance and inspiration come freely and easily to me. So, reversed, receiving this card reversed is a sign that you may have fallen off of your path. You could be too focused on worldly possessions and material gain, or you may simply be maintaining old, unhealthy habits of fear, limitation, worry, or doubt. Whatever is distracting you, receiving this card reversed is a firm message that it's time to make your spiritual life and evolution a much higher priority. Not doing so represents an important loss of power. So clear your mind, meditate, and open up to the presence of spirit. Whatever else you may have going on, consider this an important part of your personal and tactical plans. The support and inspiration of all eternity and countless loving spirits are available to you. Not turning to them is like cursing the dark when you refuse to turn on the lights. So I'm feeling that as the energy that we're coming out of. So now this card upright, the temple path is spiritual purpose and support. Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple and a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. The soul has had a, it seems like the soul has had a plan, y'all. We've seen the soul's plan come out like this the third time now. And there's only 5 cards that we're looking at. This card upright is here to tell you that what you're going through now is all a part of your soul's process. You are on your karmic path and heading in the right direction, and the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. Now, the fact that it said that we're on a karmic path means that we may be coming out of, recently in, or soon going into a period that involves a lot of growth, healing, and integration. And I mean, like, look at the world, look at what's been happening. A lot of people have been put in this space to really evaluate their lives. And it's like, if your soul came here with a certain purpose, with a certain journey in mind, with a certain purpose in mind on a certain journey, if you are missing the calls before, when everything sort of got shut down, locked down, and we were forced to be inside with ourselves, for those of us who didn't stop working, if you did keep working, I feel like some of y'all had to sort of, like, I don't want to say struggle with your own mortality, but depending on the job that you had, to constantly be exposed to other people, regardless of how they follow regulations, not regulations, because at least not here, regardless of if they follow recommendations or not, it kind of sort of puts you in this mindset that's like, unfortunately, with the world being the way it is, you can't necessarily just quit your job, right? But it's like, if I didn't have to keep working, would I, like, be isolating, and would I be taking better care of myself? It's like, now I'm on the front lines, even though, I could be something, and I don't want to discredit anyone's job, but societally, how we view people, I could be someone as simple as, like, a store clerk. But now the stores are, it's like we see those places as essential as they've always been, right? And when it comes to servers and waiters in restaurants, it's no different. It's like, you're not going in the back, you're not cooking your own food, you're not going to talk to the chef, you're not bringing it, you're not filling your own glasses, you're literally sitting there having someone else do it for you. Like, show some respect. Anyway, it's put us all in this space to really ask ourselves if what we're doing is worth it. We've had the opportunity to do that. Now, there are some people who did whatever they did. But anyway, for a lot of people who weren't necessarily to the point where they would consider themselves to be more on the temple path. Recently, there's come an opportunity for folks to really just like get on it, right? Because of recent events. So that's sort of the karmic part. It's like all of the things coming up these days that have been coming up, that are coming up, and that will come up. Maybe most of it has already come up if we've dealt with it. If we haven't dealt with it, then some of it might come back up. It's like when you have acid reflux, right? When you like I'll just throw up in my mouth a little bit, or sometimes you actually throw up. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't eat this right the first time, so now you got to eat it again. And you're like, there's like stomach acid on this now. And it's like, yeah, it's gross, isn't it? Bet you wish you would have just done it right the first time, don't you? Let me stop. This ain't that kind of channel. Anyway, a lot of us are being given that opportunity to get on the path or to reevaluate the surroundings and our direction. And we've been given an opportunity to really listen to ourselves and our soul's calling. That's simple. Now, let's continue. The lights around the temple represent the spirit world, your family members and friends, angels and guides, all the loving spirit helpers who long to assist you. Yeah, who long to assist you. Call upon them and be open to their wisdom and inspiration. This is a wonderful, life expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connections. Keep them both in mind. Following your higher intentions will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways, and connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. So, yeah, it's like as we're coming closer and closer and closer, because at first it was in reverse, as we're coming closer and closer and closer to the part of the journey, because like we're always, welcome back, Clorinda. It's like even when we think we're not on the path, we are on the path. And so it's like we're always on the path, but it's like now we can be more consciously aligned with the ultimate direction that we're heading in. Because it's like when we're not consciously aligned with that direction, then the path will shift around us to get us back to the temple path, right? It's constantly moving and changing as we move and change. But when we're consciously aware, then the path is a little more straightforward. When we're consciously heading in the same direction as the direction of our soul. And when we're not, it's like there are things that we're sort of picking up along the way, right? So it's like we're always on the path. Now, coming into this future energy, is this Uriel? It is seventh chakra Archangel Uriel with that crown, girl. Like, and then here's the third chakra. So we've been jumped 4 chakras: the heart, the throat, and the third eye. And now we're ended up with this crown energy. Uriel is number 41. This is a lot. And I might end it here, honestly. I feel like I could do another one, but I don't know. I didn't even pull a card from them. I just cut the deck. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. What's this about? Glad I did this though. This is fun. 41. Seventh chakra Archangel Uriel. Spirit connections, intuition, and inspiration. So we got all this soul stuff. Oops. We got all this soul stuff, right? Hold on, wait, how do I do this? There we go. We got all this soul stuff over here, right? And then we end up at the spirit, at the gates of spirit with Uriel. And I love it. I love it. It's like some of us, well, it's like some of us are about to meet our higher selves, but yes, but it's like the best way that I can describe it Because I've recently heard something in a reading that I watched on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, that's true, but it's not how you may think it is. I feel like when you are, it's like you have an open connection, right? Um, let's say that you all of a sudden learn to telepathically communicate, because this is the best I can get to it. It's like you learn how to telepathically communicate with someone, right? And so communication with them is as quick as a thought. And so now you don't have to pull out your phone and call them specifically, wait for them to pick up. You don't have to text them and then wait for them to get it and then wait for them to reply. It's like that input is just there. And so when you align with spirit, it's like, yeah, you like spirit kind of sort of informs a lot of your decisions, but it isn't, at least from my perspective, it isn't necessarily always the case that you're asking spirit, like, okay, spirit, do I do this? All right, spirit, do I do that? Okay, spirit, like, should I cross the street? Okay, spirit, should I? It's like, it's just this open line of communication. So if something comes your way, it could like, hey, like look at this. Hey, don't look at that. Go this way. Go that way. Hey, try it this way. Hey, when's the last time you talked to this person? Hey, maybe you should, I don't know, do whatever. It isn't right. And so that's kind of sort of how spirit can come in and inform our decisions and how we sort of align with that energy, but it isn't necessarily always asking for that input. And that's another thing that happens when you come into the self, especially with the solar plexus chakra, because when all of your chakras are aligned, then it's like at the solar plexus with that gut instinct. That's when we get that sort of like, this aligns with me and this does not align with me. And the solar plexus is also kind of sort of the space that we act from, right? It was like desire, something where we act on those desires, right? And we act to make those desires made manifest, to actually see them and experience them. And so when you're fully aligned, and if you're in a space that introduces contrast or friction, then you feel that. And with your solar plexus, it's like you act in a way, you move in a way, you shine in a way that does that. So yes and no. But here we have the whole gosh darn spirit, where up until this point we only have the soul. But this is where our soul is leading us, to the spirit. Okay? I hope that's making sense. I feel like it is. I feel like I'm making sense because I'm not saying anything too like out there today, right? That's what the hierophant is for. That's where everything is like a thought experiment. And it's like, this may be a little crazy, but okay, I don't think y'all can see where I got this from. We was on our way home from Walmart, and I literally got the last sandwich. The girl was like, everybody be getting sandwiches today, and I don't think we got no more. And I was like, okay, well then I don't want nothing. I didn't really want this food in the first place because like I just got some broccoli and stuff today because I need to put like something green and healthy in my body. Like my body is craving it, and I'm craving it, but it's like every time I get broccoli or vegetables, I cook them like one day, and then they just kind of sit there, and then they go bad. So sorry, I haven't finished a bag of carrots in a long time. Yeah, I know. But I am hydrating more and still eating better and less sugar. So, Archangel Uriel, spirit connections, intuition, and inspiration. The beautiful angel Uriel, also called the fire of God, wears a brilliant. Let's see if y'all can see her. Why is she in? I was like, why is she in reverse? Her number is up there. If y'all can even see her. If not, then it is what it is. And there we go. Wears a brilliant crystal crown, vibrating with a passionate connection to the divine. She brings great power to your seventh energy center, which is called the crown chakra and is located at the top of your head. This card upright indicates an open and free flowing channel of information and inspiration from the wonderful beings in the spirit world. This could also be a time of great intuition for you and guidance from your higher awareness, so allow yourself to quiet your mind and listen. Now is a great time to get connected. The assistance from spirit is great, and whether it's the presence of an ascended master, a powerful angel like Ariel, or just a loving friend or family member in spirit, their love and willingness to assist is always there. They even open you to the Akashic Records or Alaya consciousness. I've never heard of Alaya consciousness, but I've heard of the Akashic Records. Um, why did I do that? Okay. The storehouse of all information. This connection is open now, and you will find that your own spirit and the spirits of those around you will be able to provide the answers you seek and the blessings you desire and deserve. So they giving you information, they giving you blessings, they giving you connection, and like I said, it's just like this open free channel that is just like ding ding ding, hey, like don't do that. Ding ding ding, like hey, like do this, do that. Don't sit on this opportunity. Like be a little proactive. Now I don't know. Ooh, oh, that's the man holding the coin. I was like, what you doing here? Um, like lately though, personally this ain't my personally for me channel. Yeah. Oh, hostilities and deceit. Oh goodness. Did I just put deceit upright? Is deceit upright now, girl? Oof. Well, it came out reverse for us. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna shuffle out. Look at the cut again. That temple path. The temple path and fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So with that throat, we're at the part of the temple path now where some folks who were previously silent begin to teach. When the master is ready, the students appear. Just like when the student is ready, the masters appear, right? It's like at the end of your mastery, at the end of your journey of mastery comes the space where you begin to teach, because when you teach something, you learn it twice. And there's a deeper understanding that you can get when you teach something, especially when you have to teach it to someone who isn't as knowledgeable, because then it forces you to simplify it enough in your own mind to communicate it to someone else, right? Now, if you're just talking to somebody else who already knows what they're talking about, then you can just like spit out all these big words and fancy terms and phrases that you may not even fully understand. But to someone who wouldn't understand, they may be like, "What's that?" And then you're like, I don't know. It's what the book said when I was learning it." Right? Okay, let's see. Can I get a card, please? Well, I'll pull one of these cards first. Bottom of the deck what's this? Victory in reverse. Oof. Is this 28? Victory in reverse. I mean, sometimes we got to take a few L's on the temple path. Sometimes we learn more from defeat and from setbacks than we do from victory. So, freeze them. Oh, the vegetables? I just bought frozen vegetables this time because then I can cook them when I need them. But I didn't even think about that. I don't know why. Yeah, see the one like I'm kind of sort of a stickler for expiration dates, and that's the one thing I don't like about freezing things, is because if I freeze it, then I don't know when it goes bad. And I had bad milk one time in my life. I had bad milk, and that was enough to get me checking the dates for everything forever. Right? I'm when it comes to food, for some reason, is this the lovers? No. Eight of Wands, though. Eight of Wands and the ruler of Wands. Okay. When it comes to food, I get, I don't want to say traumatized, but I form very, very, very strong opinions of food very easily. Like I used to enjoy watermelon, but one time I got some watermelon and it went bad before I ate it, and I haven't liked watermelon since. I was a child when that happened. I used to like fish, but my mom said that as soon as we got a fish, then I stopped liking fish. Um, like a few weeks ago, because some of the produce is a little questionable right now. I got a bag of halos, and I was giving them a little squeeze. I didn't squeeze them when I was in the store because I've never gotten bad produce from a store before. I'm privileged enough to say that. So I take them home though because I had some that were just chilling in here. Some nectarines that I didn't like because they were kind of bitter. Um, and I squeezed one of these cuties and it melted in my hand. And that it didn't traumatize me, but I didn't want to touch another cutie. And then I go back to the store. I take my brother with me, and he gets me a bag of cuties. Like all of them had so many that were so bad, but I already told the lady that I was just gonna get a different bag instead of getting the refund. Now I could have went up and said, you know what, I'll take the refund, but I didn't do that. So I get this bag of cuties, and I set them out in the front because I was defrosting my little mini fridge or my mini mega fridge, and I take them out there, and my mom's like, "Yeah, I threw those away. Like there was one of them in there that was as rotten as the one that traumatized you last time." And so now I'm just like, I'm done with halos. I'm done with cuties until the world improves. It's just like I can't. But she was like, "That's why I don't get produce from that one store. I get produce from the other store." Because when I got a bag of carrots from that store, the carrots tasted like chemicals. It tasted like chemicals, like cleaning stuff. And I was like, "Ooh." And the dog enjoys carrots because he loves crunchy things. He ate like two of them and then he threw up. I was like, yeah, see, this is why I ain't eating these. But anyway, a cutie is like it's like those little oranges. It's like one of those little oranges, like a tangerine. Tangerines are the little oranges too, right? Yeah, it's like a tangerine or a nectarine. I think nectarines may be the little ones. No, because that those were nectarines and those were bigger. I think it's like a tangerine. It's a little orange, a little citrus fruit looking thing. But yeah, 3 to 4 months in the freezer. Okay. But yeah, so and then one time I was eating some bread, girl. I had a bun. I almost used it. It was bad. I was like, oh my gosh. It's just like when it comes to food, I'm just like, I'm not that adventurous. I'm actually a lot more adventurous now of an eater than I've ever been in my life, um, which speaks to a lot of things. But it's like one bad experience, and I'm like, Like one time, we got some chicken from a place, and there was like a little feather. There was a deep fried feather on the chicken wing, and I couldn't eat it because I'm not a vegetarian, but I hate being reminded that my food was once alive. So if I get like all the meat I eat, it's well done. If I see any blood, if it's too pink, I don't like it because it reminds me that it was alive. And some people were like, well, if you can't eat meat because you don't like the fact that it used to be alive, then you shouldn't eat meat. And to those people, I would say, mind your own gosh darn business. It's my life, and I like my food how I like my food. Okay. While I can still enjoy meat, I will enjoy meat. Sometimes my body is like, I'm like, body, what do you mean? I feel like I'm talking a lot. This is another card I see all the time. In this deck, the Nine of Pentacles. Can y'all see that? The Nine of Coins. Let's see if I can get this to show up. Maybe. It's the Nine of Coins, y'all. Y'all may be able to see it. But if I turn that light off completely, then there won't be any light. And the Hermit is behind the Nine of Coins. Both of these are Virgo energy. Some of these crystals look like seeds, but they're crystals. They're all crystals. I've talked about the Nine of Coins before. The Nine of Coins actually came out earlier today. And the Nine of Coins also came out yesterday in the weekly release. And it's been about lately, it's been, oh, who is this? Ooh, the High Sage. Now we got the High Sage. So we've seen two majors that show all the moon cycles. The pillar came out earlier. Now the High Sage is here. The High Sage is the energy of the High Priestess. And with the Nine of Pentacles on the back of the on the bottom of the deck, it's like a lot of people have been feeling a shift, have been feeling a change, have been feeling a turning, a movement. What do they say? Like a disturbance in the force or whatever, or whatever. But I feel like a lot of it is linked or has been linked to the material world, to the material plane when it comes to what we feel and sense and know. But in order for a lot of that to happen, there are great changes that must be done in the spirit, slash, the mental and the physical have to begin to align to the spirit in a higher degree than they were in the past. And one of the things that needs to happen is a greater integration of the self. In this deck in particular, crystals speak to wealth, abundance, but also pieces of the self in the physical body, because again, it's the pentacles. And so when it came up yesterday, I was like, there are pieces of the self that have been locked up for a very good reason. And this is kind of controversial. It's not, honestly, it like, yeah, I'm just like, oh. And so it may be kind of controversial. But yesterday, I got the feeling that some of that deep, and it was kind of sort of confirmed for me today. So I guess it's less controversial. When I said it yesterday, I felt it was controversial because like spirit don't often, like we don't often disagree. I don't want to say disagree, but usually like we're on the same page or we're on a similar page. And so I was like, there's like this thing that we have in us that's very, very, it's like, it's so whatever that we had to forget what it was. Some of us, for those of y'all who it resonates for, we had to forget what it was in order to maintain some kind of functionality in the world. But I was like, but you have to feel it to heal it. If you're not conscious of what it is, it's going to continue to block you in areas that you don't even know because there's this fundamental root level rift that needs healing. And right before or right after, I was like, you've sort of gone as far as you can go. Like, without knowing what this is and without healing it and integrating it, you're not going to be able to reach the Ten of Pentacles. But then I was kind of sort of stopped a little bit. And so I feel like right now, because of everything happening within the collective, some of those, there's like a lot of healing energy and there's a lot of cleansing energy and there's a lot of energies that are assisting people with purging things that they no longer need. And so, and that could also be a part of the Ten of Swords that came out with the lunar eclipse, I guess, or the lunar solar lunar cycle, or just the unique space that we're in now, where a lot of collective shadow is coming up. And we aren't necessarily at this point in history fully, I don't want to say fully responsible, but it's like at this point, we're just living in the programs and systems that were already established in the past. Okay, Clorinda, I think I missed you, but see you later. Um, and so there's a lot of things that we kind of sort of have to face in the collective shadow. But it's like there's this healing, purging, cleansing energy running through the undertow right now. So the things that are deepest, darkest, and most suppressed, it's being worked on. It's being healed. It's being loosened. It's being busted up as Pluto is doing all of this work in Capricorn, which sort of like works at the root of the foundations of all systems at this point. It's bringing that transformation and that transformative healing energy, right? And we have Jupiter there, Mars and Mercury were there. Saturn was there. Like we've had so many Pluto conjunctions in Capricorn. Some of them multiple times. Some of them will happen again. But that's what it's doing. It's really shining a light and cleansing and clearing things, transforming things, purging things on those deep, deep fundamental levels. So there's a lot of healing energy right now that you can kind of sort of tap into to clear and cleanse a lot of that. So I don't want to say shadow work is getting a little easier right now, but there's a larger or a greater emphasis and focus on getting people as healed as possible as we prepare for this, whatever is coming up next. Um, and so, as long as you approach and tackle everything that comes up in your conscious life, then you should be fine for the most part. And then once you have reached kind of sort of what I was feeling with that King of Pentacles with the watch and the Pentacle being the moon, it's like once you have reached the point where it would affect you less or it wouldn't completely derail you, then it may be the time where you actually face it or you remember it and then you're able to work through it. But for the time being, as long as you're doing everything that you need to be doing, you'll be fine. Um, and so with that Nine of Pentacles, that's why I started talking about all this. Um, but there are still some aspects of the self that need to be integrated, right? And that was on the bottom of the deck with the High Priestess, with the High Sage. Um, and that's, to get you get you as close as you can be or further along your path. So we're going to pull out this last Energy Oracle card, and then I'm going to shut this down. And it's been a whole hour and 12 minutes. I can't do nothing quick. I thought I was making good time today, y'all. I'm going to cut this. All right. One last card, please. 1, 2, 3, however many cards. Just like one card, so I'm sure that, we're done. Okay. Bottom of the deck is Attachment in Reverse, number 5. I am loving these cards coming out in reverse today. Indecision in reverse, deceit in reverse, attachment in reverse. Like, what? We're about to read her. They're my daddy. What my daddy say? I didn't left the store and everything. See, as much as I do for that man, hey, can you do me a favor? Depends. Okay. Let me not act like, no, I'm right. I'm right. But let me not act like, he ain't never done nothing to help me out. But he don't never inconvenience himself. And he inconvenienced me all the time. I'm talking about my Libran friend. He was he was like, you could come back and cook over here. I'm like, dude, we already found out how that works. So back to, the relevant things. Unless you have a Libra in your life. This card reversed is a wonderful indicator. How many times have we heard that today? This card in reverse is a wonderful indicator that an old negative pattern, relationship, or desperate attitude is being released. As you continue to let go, you will be able to establish new ways of doing things and relating to others. The universe wants to congratulate you on your healthy new approach, but be sure to support the changes you're making and your ongoing choices. Be sure to continue to make correct choices and be sure to continue to make choices free of the attachments that you had in the past, like limiting beliefs that you used to run that will prevent you from doing whatever. Continue to do that. If procrastinating was the thing that you used to do that kept you from getting stuff that you wanted or needed or were manifesting, then maybe stop procrastinating a little bit so that energy can really come in, right? And that's what I'm experiencing personally right now. And it's like, wow, things are really coming in, things are really happening, like we're really doing this. And then it's like, I got that email from this man. I literally go outside of my room. Now he said that the company is based in Germany, but they have some locations in the US. I literally go outside my room to tell my mother. And as I'm approaching my mother, she's like, Edna said something, something Germany. I was like, what did you just say? Because this dude literally just told me Germany. And we getting confirmations that fast. But that's what happens when you actually move on the things instead of sitting on them, right? Or at least for me, that's my lesson right now. And I'm doing it. So, but spirit, because like I've also kind of sort of had a routine for the past few days as well. And I didn't consciously set a routine. It just kind of sort of popped in my mind that, like, hey, by noon, I want to start doing this today. And then the next day, I was like, by noon, I'm going to start doing this today. And now I'm just in this habit of by noon, I start being productive. I start working anything that I need to do, like sending emails, doing work, doing whatever else, replying to people at noon. I get on it. Now, if I go live and I run a little late, then hey, it is what it is. But I make sure to accommodate or make up for that time. And when I do get something, I don't procrastinate it on it. I don't sit on it. I reply immediately. And it's been freeing up a lot of my pillar empress energy to actually work and move and continue to manifest and make things happen. Right. Because it's like, yeah. Anyway, let me keep reading this. The universe wants to congratulate you on your healthy new approach, but be sure to support the changes you're making and your ongoing choices. Some patterns can be deeply encoded, and you may need to continue releasing the old habits, all the while honoring the new decisions in your thoughts, actions, and interactions with others. You've broken the chains, and now you can walk away from the limiting attachments into a bright and unlimited future. The affirmation here is I release attachment and choose peace. I am strong, free, and able to choose what honors me. And that's where, oh no, I got two cards that came out. That's at the bottom of the deck. Now, the two cards that came out, one in reverse, one upright. In reverse, we have strategy. Upright, we have contract. Contract upright and strategy in reverse. Right off the bat, I'm going to read both of these. But right off the bat, this is giving me the energy of like anything that we want and desire moving forward is already ours. And so we don't need to strategize. We don't need to plan. We don't need to be cunning and like all of this other kind of stuff that we have to do in the older energy to actually get the things that we were manifesting. It's like since we're coming into a new space, since we're getting closer and closer and closer to that new golden age, it's like these energies are getting looser and looser. And so you don't have to go about it in the same ways that you did in the past. Now, there are still things that you have to do, yes, but you'll be given the instruction on how to get there when you approach that time. Like, it isn't something that you need to sit around and think about and plan out as much. Now, I'm not saying that don't do any of that, but there's a free flowing energy here that strategy can't necessarily account for. But with contract, it still ensures that you get your just desserts because and contract is the scale. So I'm feeling like this is a good contract personally. I'm feeling like it's a good one, right? It's like as long as you are in this energy, as long as you do the work, as long as you are in alignment, then contractually you get the best, highest, brightest in your experience. And that's part of the underlying contract that governs everything anyway. So, excuse me. When did it get this late? Okay, well, let's wrap this up fairly quickly. We're going to read strategy first. Strategy is number 21, and we just had 12 Temple Path. So, 21, 20, 21. Strategy, making a plan. In reverse, when the strategy card is reversed, it indicates a stall in progress due to lack of planning. You may have a goal in mind, but no specific ideas about how to achieve it. Or you may have found that your original plans have hit a wall and it's now time to reevaluate things. Maybe that second part. If this is the case, remember that the path of least resistance may be tempting, but it rarely leads anywhere new. Don't let the mundane tasks of life eat up all your time and take you off course, Temple Path. Instead of floundering and wandering around in confusion, Put some significant mental effort into starting or renewing a comprehensive plan of attack. This card reversed is warning you to get out of the role of passive observer and become the author and director of your own destiny. The affirmation here is I plan the necessary steps to achieve my goals, and I am willing to take action in that direction. I am flexible, persistent, and prepared. Now, what I'm personally feeling as the relevant parts is and are what I'm feeling as the relevant parts are the parts about maybe hitting a wall with old plans, of not being passive, putting some, instead of like significant mental effort, I would say like more so like spiritually aligned to it and with it, and be mentally flexible. Because when you're spiritually aligned and mentally flexible, then that's when you can more easily receive um, a more direct path, right? A lot of things come through the path of least resistance, but the path of least resistance isn't always the quickest path or the easiest path or the most aligned path, as it said in the entry. But when we drop our resistances, then it allows us to open up to better roads, right? It's like if we were on a highway or if we were going somewhere and we can get on the highway and it would be a straight shot. Highways are some of the roads you can drive the fastest on. But if the highway is closed and we have to go through multiple towns to get to the same space, it's like the distance may be the same, but since we encounter more residential areas, we encounter more areas where we have to navigate more slowly, where we have to decelerate, reduce our speed. It makes the journey longer, right? So it's like we're in this position now with everything that our soul has taken us through with this new connection to spirit to open up highways, right? And to take new paths that were being blocked by like spiritual resistances, right? It's like you must be at least level 3 in spirit to access this road. And we were like level 1 and like, man, now I gotta take the long way. Like, when am I gonna level up? Like, ugh, I can't wait till I level up, right? It's like now those roads are open to us, some of us. And so that's what I'm feeling with the strategy card more than like necessarily planning everything out. But they do also mention the flexibility in here. So, those are the ones I'm feeling as more necessary. This card reversed is a warning. This card in reverse is warning you to get out of the role of passive observer and become the author and director of your own destiny. That part, good as is. Now, coming over to contract, which is number 6. And we just had what, number 5, number 8, number 7? Sound like I'm at McDonald's placing an order. Can I get a number 5, please? No, when I go to Wendy's, oh, we just had 6 contract. When I go to Wendy's, I get a number 6 because that's the spicy chicken filet. What? No, we have number 6 right now. We just had number 5 attachment in reverse. Okay. I'm like, what? Contract, partnerships, and legal commitment. This what? This card shows a contract in the background, ready to be signed, indicating a committed connection of some sort. This union may be a business deal, the sale of a home, a new job, or even a commitment in marriage. Whatever the connection, this card is more than a casual agreement. It's usually something that requires a document that's binding, at least for the time being. The scales of justice also indicate that if a legal action is underway, it is likely to turn out in your favor. This card shines a light on potential new opportunities, so remain aware and receptive to what may be coming your way. The affirmation here is I am attracting wonderful, beneficial connections that support and honor me and bring me great happiness and abundance. So, yes and yes to all of that. You're attracting it, but again, it's like there is commitment worked into the energy of the situation. And I got a new cup. Do y'all want to see it? I saw it in the store today. I used to have this like half-gallon pitcher that I would use as a water bottle. So today I got a new Bubba. I got this bottle though. It's like almost a liter and a half. So, I can get a good amount of water in this, drink a few of these a day, stay hydrated, run to the bathroom all day because that's what happens when you drink water, unfortunately. It's like sometimes my least favorite things about being a human are needing to use the restroom is my number one least favorite thing about being a person. Especially like needing to urinate because it's like if I have to defecate into a toilet, at least I can like take my phone or something to keep me entertained. But if I just got to urinate, then it's like I'm really just like standing here wasting time because I got to go to the bathroom. Like literally wasting time. It's like wasting time with waste time. It's like can we evolve to the point where we don't have to do this anymore? Like please, because these are precious seconds, moments in my day that I'm not gonna get back. I could sit on the toilet and take my phone to urinate, but then it's like I'm not there that long. I don't know. The other thing I don't like is like hearing myself breathe. And that may be weird, but like if I'm recording it or if I get super conscious of my breath, like right now, for whatever reason, I'm like consciously, it's like I'm breathing a little whatever, and it just annoys me for some reason. I'm like, why do I have to breathe to survive? Like, could we not? Could we not? And still, like be alive, right? Could I not have to do this and still like be alive? Like, have we not progressed to the point as humans where we don't need to eat or um, eliminate waste from our bodies or breathe? I guess not. Anyway, I'm weird. I know. I hope y'all have a wonderful, amazing time. So much love and light and healing is available to everyone right now. And I am doing my little spiritual best to put that energy out into the collective, um, to assist in everything that's happening right now. Right. And yesterday, I was like, what? What do y'all mean that all the deepest work is like being done for people? Like, shouldn't people have to do it themselves? Like back in my day, when we went through a dark night, we had to pull ourselves out of the pit. let me let me stop. But then I was like, you know what? It's like things should get easier. Things should get lighter. Not necessarily easier, but things should get lighter. And as things get lighter, it should make dealing with the heavier stuff easier, right? And who's to say that I didn't have help from collective energies and people putting into the collective to manifest this awakening, just like I'm trying to do for people now, right? And also at the same time, like my life hasn't been extremely difficult. So I'm also grateful and blessed and appreciative of that as well. So anyway, I will catch y'all later. Thank you to all the people who stopped in today, who stopped by today. It was very fun. It was very lovely. Thank you to the collective for allowing me to tap into such amazing energy. I feel like it hasn't been that good in a minute. And it was interesting because before I came, I was like, it seems like some people, not some people, it seems like there are some readers who I come across, and it seems that like 9 times out of 10, the message is like not that positive. And I know it's real life. Everything isn't sunshine and rainbows, but it's like, can something be good at least like one of these times, or is everything always bad? Anyway. And again, it could have been where we were at the time, but now that things are getting a little looser, excuse me, and now that we are more, now that more and more and more and more and more of us are aligning to these higher paths, now it's like as more and more of us step outside of the broader umbrella of collective programming that puts these things in this collective subconscious that makes it heavier and lighter or heavier and darker, as more and more and more people sort of take their own power out of that, then it makes it easier to sort of like navigate through, if that makes any sense. All right, I'm gonna go now. It's been an hour and a half. And my mom just went live, so perfect timing. Bye.